Hi there, and cheers for checking out Andy Robinson RC and checking out the episode today. Right, as you can see, it is done. That is the Tamiya Egress Black Edition from 2022, and here it is in all its glory. So if you've been keeping an eye on our Facebook pages and the Instagram page, you'll have seen me working through this and what steps I've taken to get to here. So here it is, and it is a actually rather nice looking thing, because I've never had one of these before, never built one, so I wasn't sure what it was all about really, but after doing it, it's a bit of a beauty. Really pleased with how it's turned out as well. And of course we haven't gone exactly like box art, and what I'll do is I'll tell you what paint scheme I did with it in the end. So I went with, I think it's PS47, which is the pink gold iridescent paint. Then we backed that in just the black, the Tamiya PS5. And I decided on this one with the windows and the wing end plates. I used the sort of like the blue smoke, or it's blue translucent paint. I think that's PS38 from memory. And rather than using the kit decals, so it's a little darker, but I wanted to give it a go and see if I could actually do a half decent job of smoking it, which I think I did all right with it this time. Now I must admit the paint could have gone on a little better, but with the temperatures were so cold, it's always going to be tricky. So I sprayed it up in the garage, and I was having to I was heating up the not too much, but I was heating up the paint in the house so the paint would you know, lay slightly better on the shell. So given that, I don't think the paint has turned out too bad at all. There is probably one or two minor things if you look hard enough, but you know, I'm pleased with it. I don't always think the camera though does justice to the actual paintwork, because it's a flip sort of paint on it. You've got to really see it in the flesh. But the idea was, with the flip paint, I wanted to sort of pick out the gold, well, the bronzy, sorry, shocks that were done especially for this kit, and the front uprights there, and I wanted to sort of get that sort of colour somewhere within the body shell. So I'm hoping, I don't know how much of it you'll see in the light, I'll try and move the car about, but it's hopefully in there in the body somehow. So yeah, and even the wheels, I was a bit unsure of them because they're just the grey wheel, but I actually think it looks quite well with it. I think it's done quite well. So what I will do is we're going to run this. We're going to get this, as I said, I promised, but we'd run this one. I'm sure it's going to get filthy. But what I'll do is, just before we do, I'll whip the body shell off, and you can see it underneath. I'm sure most of you will know what the Egress looks like underneath, but I think it's fair to show it off, so we'll do that and then we'll run it for you. So there we go. So that is it, all kit standard, nothing out of the norm really. With the motor, I didn't have the motor I wanted really for it, so I just went with this Tamiya Black Sport Tuned, and it's the older style, but if you look at it, with it having the gold decal on, I think it fits quite well with the car, so that was cool in a way. And this servo I picked up, again, it was just a servo I needed. I picked it up for the car. It's a Power HD one, and it's blue, which is cool, and I think that ties in quite well all together. So yeah, very pleased with it all. I'm running just my usual Hobbywing 1060 ESC, and I've got my 40 meg radio system in. And that's it really. Other than that, it is what you get in an Egress kit, and I really like the build. Never built one before. To be honest, it's not a difficult build. I was expecting it to be more complicated than it was. As I said, I've never built one, but yeah, the only thing we did have a trouble with, and I did have to get some help on it, was this here. When you're attaching the rear part of the rear trailing arm system, there's a silver bush in there, and it's all quite a tight fit from the screw that goes in the conical, I don't know, call it a spacer or washer if you want. Then you've got the ball joint in there, and then you've got this bushing, and that was a bit of a tight squeeze. So unfortunately, it was the only bit I couldn't really do, apart from the turnbuckles, which are like my nemesis. But apart from that, it was a really nice build. I enjoyed building it. Other thing I can think of is for some reason I cannot get those plastic collars to tighten up. they'll only go so far, but it doesn't matter. I like the car quite low, so I'm not too fussed about that. But that was my only quibbles with it really. And anyway, I think what we're going to do is now, the bit where everyone wants to see, is it actually running. So this will be a first for me. I've sort of like ran it up the street briefly just to check it was all working, but I've not really actually done any proper running with it. So anyway, let's see what it's like. Will it, you know, I'm going to sort of, I'm not expecting it to drive as well as the Schumacher Pro Cat we had on the channel recently, but I am expecting it to drive half decent. So put my other pin in, and then we'll get going. Right. So here we go. Got probably because it's wet as well, but steering feels pretty positive. I'm just going to dial back my dual rates on that, I think. Oh yeah. As you said, it's not the motor I wanted. I wanted to put in the BRZ stock motor. That'd have been ideal for it, but I didn't have one. But first impressions, yeah, it's going where I want it to go. And those dampers work really well. They're no different from any of the other high caps, but apart from the colour, but they are really nice. Look at the state of that. Look at the state of it. I'm gonna have fun cleaning that, aren't I? I'm just gonna see if I can push my aerial thing back in properly. Well, yeah. Anyway, let's give it a bit more of a go. Good job it's got an under tray on this. Yeah, so it's not lightning quick with this motor, and it's quite a weighty car, the Egress. So it's all right. I think probably it'd be nice to get it back out in some nicer weather and put a bit of a quicker motor in, because they will take some reasonable power, these things. Look at a chunk of dirt hanging off it. So, yeah. But yeah, no, it's cool. I'm glad we brought it out anyway. And I hope you're enjoying watching it sort of blast around. So you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think to the final build, if you like the paint scheme or not, and do you want me to get that BZ motor in and give it another run. Obviously I want to use it more because it's a lot of money for a kit. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. But there, yes, there you go. Lovely. That'll be fun. But yeah, had to be done, because if I didn't get this done now, it could be next year before we got a chance to get this running for you. I would say most of it should be pretty clean. You know, look at it. There's a thumbnail for you. Actually, look at it. The under tray looks to have kept most of that out as well, so not too bad. So yeah, there you go. That is a very filthy and wet Tamiya Egress Black Edition. So yeah, cheers for checking this one out, much appreciated. I hope you, comment in the video and let me know what you want me to do with it next. As I said, right, we're going to leave this one here. This one's finished for now, and we'll see about running it again with a bit of a quicker motor in there. Anyway, yeah, as I said, cheers for checking this one out, much appreciated as always. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like and notification bell. We've got loads of stuff coming up, and including, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but I've got possibly what I think is an absolute steal of a truck coming over from the US, hopefully early January, but more about that later. We've got the Traxxas TRX 4M crawler with some lovely upgrades coming as well. So loads of stuff coming on the channel, and we'll have some more vintage stuff as well, no doubt. Anyway, so far impressions, loving it so far. It's a bit of an odd one. I've never really felt that attached to them before, but yeah, it's a nice buggy, and to me it looks just as good as the original Egress, in my opinion. Right, anyway, see you later, look after yourselves, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.